This story is called Wine. My husband is a wine writer. When we married, it was his avocation. And now, having retired from his day job, he happily focuses on drinking wine and writing about it. One of my high hopes when we married was that I would learn about wine. My husband's wine brain would be mine to pick at forever. He would tutor me in the finer points of Burgundies and Bordeaux's. I would learn to distinguish at a sip between New World and Old World wines. I would learn appropriate food and wine combinations. Oh, I looked forward to absorbing his wine knowledge. Now, I wasn't totally ignorant of wine. Admittedly, I was raised in a hard liquor household rather than a wine drinking one, and watching your parents finish off a pitcher of Manhattans before dinner teaches you very little about what wine to serve with lamb shanks. When I was raising 3 children on my own, I used to drink wine. I was both busy, a full-time job and 3 children, and poor, a full-time job that didn't pay well, plus 3 children. So I had neither the time nor the money to devote to learning about wine. But I found one that I considered drinkable, and I made it my house wine. It was called Yosemite Road, and it cost $1.99 a gallon. Even in the 70s, that was definitely a cheap wine. I can remember coming home from work and starting supper. First, I had to clean up the dirty pots and pans I'd left in the sink the previous night. While I did this, I would have a glass of Yosemite Road. By the time we ate, I would have a headache. So I would think, I'll have a glass of wine with my dinner to relax me and make my headache go away. After dinner, while I helped with homework or supervised piano practicing, the headache continued. So I had a glass of wine to relieve it. Now, I have never claimed that in those dark ages of my journey, I was in touch with my body. As far as I can remember, I didn't even know I had a body. So I never made the connection. Yosemite Road gave me a headache, and drinking additional Yosemite Road gave me an even bigger headache. Then I married a wine writer and moved to Toronto. I was looking forward to going beyond Yosemite Road. During our courtship, we drank a lot of champagne, and the rule about champagne is that it goes with everything, any time of the day or night. That one is easy to remember. During the first 5 years of marriage, I assiduously applied myself to learning about wine. Now, that doesn't mean I actually studied. It just means that I asked my husband many questions. And it also doesn't mean that I made notes of his answers. Instead, I asked the same questions over and over, and he patiently responded. He has a marvelous palate for wines, and a marvelous memory, both a palate memory and a memory for grape varieties, vintage years, producers, and all the other arcane information that is part of the wine business. Let's face it, he's bloody brilliant when it comes to wine. I discovered that I have a fairly good palate for the first sip of wine I take in an evening. If I concentrate very hard, I can say something appropriate about the first sip. After that, however, I'm out of the running. Either I can't concentrate for longer than 3 seconds when it comes to wine, or that first sip of the evening's first wine exhausts my taste buds. So how am I at remembering vintages or grape varieties? Can I tell you the 3, or maybe it's 2, main grapes allowed in a Bordeaux, and what percentage of each is used by which winemaker? That is to laugh. Of course I can't, and don't blame this on age. I never could do it no matter how hard I tried. After 5 years, I gave up. Why try to learn what my husband knows when he's sitting across from me already knowing it? After all, real knowledge consists not in having the information, but in knowing where to find it. And I know where to find it. I ask the expert who shares my table. We're happy with the dynamics now. He does wine. He tends his cellar, stashed in every corner of our crowded, unheated basement. He effortlessly picks out 6 or 7 wines for a dinner party, 1 wine or 2 for each course. He expects nothing from me in the area of wine. For my part, I do food. We both eat the food. We both drink the wine. We're both happy.